What's up guys, Shawnthebro here, and we're back for another episode of the third-person action RPG tutorial series. In today's episode, we are going to continue going over our attributes, or our levels, or our stat points in our game. We've touched on this a few different times in the series, but we have quite a few loose ends and we want to tie them up. The main thing is that we have stats on our character, and it does affect some things like the damage of our fists for our strength stat, the attack speed of our weapons for our dexterity stat, and the intellect stat doesn't actually do anything right now, but we have that on the character as well. Quite a few episodes ago, we created a stat assignment window and a stat display window. These two widgets were useful for leveling up our stats or assigning how many stat points we wanted in each stat, as well as displaying that to the user. And it actually works. We went over using text boxes, slider values, and arrow inputs to determine how many stat points we have for each stat. But we never actually created this stat widget anywhere in our actual game. We only did it for the purposes of the demonstration. So for today's episode, I want to cover creating that window when we level up, and then removing that window when we're done with it, and making sure that it works with the rest of our flow, because we made that without ever really testing it with everything else. Now that we have so much more, it'll be a great test. We'll make sure that everything works together, from our UI placement, our controls, our leveling system, and a lot more. There's going to be more work to do with our stat system in general. After this episode, we will be able to fully make sure that we assign our stats on leveling up, and we'll make sure that we know what stats we have as the player, or as the user. Before we hop into this episode, if you want to get caught up in the entire action RPG tutorial series and see how we've done things like our different enemies, our inventory, picking up weapons, and a whole lot more, I'll link you to the entire third-person action RPG tutorial series right here in the top right corner, so you can check all that out. Alternatively, if you don't care about that and you only care about the stat system in our game, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to follow along with the whole series to watch this episode, but I do recommend that you watch the episode where we created the stat widgets, as we are going to be using the logic from those widgets today to influence the game behavior. So if you've already followed that episode, then you'll be able to follow along with this episode very easily. With that said, we're ready to get started. This is a code and blueprint tutorial series. Since we are going to be working in our stat system, that is going to be code, but since we are also going to be working with the widget, we are going to need access to those blueprints as well. So it will be a mix today. The first thing that I want to do is go to my code class. We go into our code and go to our third-person tutorial character. This is my base character for my game. In here, you can see that we have different variables for our stats. We have a strength value, a dexterity value, and an intellect value. Of course, we may have many more in our series as it progresses, and you may have already added more. We'll need at least one stat for today's episode, so make sure if you don't already have one in here that you add one. If I go into my third-person tutorial character.h and scroll down in my file here, I can go to my variables, and you'll see that I have 3 integers, one for strength, dexterity, and intellect value. I made them edit anywhere, blueprint read write, so we could edit them and access them in the blueprints, both in the defaults and the graphs. And I gave it a category of stats so we can find them easily. Additionally, we do have upgrade points as well, which is the amount of available upgrade points the character currently has. This is important because whenever we change any of these values, we are going to use our upgrade points. And if we have the ability to reduce some of our values, like reduce our strength, we're going to gain upgrade points. Lastly, for this system, we have our current level, which is important because our current level will often influence our upgrade points. Those are the variables that we'll need for today's episode, and again, here is where I set all of them in the CPP file in the constructor of our third-person tutorial character, and these are the values that I currently have. Now, the next thing that we're going to need is the method in which we're going to spawn the widget for adjusting our stats. Let's go into our blueprints first so that I can show you what this looks like. Back in the editor now, we can go to Blueprints, Widgets, and we have our stat assignment window. It looks like a lot of logic in here. It's really not. The reason there's so much in here is because I showed 3 different methods of upgrading these actual buttons. I showed this dexterity slider bar and this text box value right here. And all 3 of these methods can be used to change your stats, depending on how you want your player to adjust their stat values. This is going to interfere with our quest objectives in the top left corner of our screen. We do have a few options of how to handle this. A lot of the time this will be in a menu, so it's not really an issue. We may have a background to that menu, or it's pretty much understood that we don't care about what's happening in the world around us when we're in the menu. I don't actually have a parent menu to place this on right now, but we'll likely make one for the series. But there is one adjustment that I wanted to make, and that is these buttons right here and the arrow text not being inside of the button, but I simply just want to make this bigger. There's no reason to use the sizes that I did, so I'm going to set the size X to be 40 on both of these buttons. And I'm going to change my padding from 4.0 and 2.0 to all zeros. You can just type 0 here, and we want to do this for the intellect right arrow text as well. Just make that 0. Now this is really just a temporary solution. We're not really going to be using these assets. Then there is also the stat display window. So if we go into Blueprints, Widget, Stat Display window, this is where we see the values of all of our stats. Since these were made so long ago, I want to do some quick cleanup in here. If we go into the graph of our stat assignment window, the first one here is Get Strength Text Box Text. This is meant to be a binding of our strength text box. However, we actually ended up solving this by looking at the text committed on the text box and the text changed on the text box. So the way this works is the player would enter their strength value or their wanted strength value, and if they have enough points, they will now have that new strength value. But this get strength text box text binding here is actually empty. We didn't end up using it, and for that reason, I want to delete it. The next one here is get text underscore 0. This was initially for how we were going to get our intellect text, but we decided to go with those buttons instead so I could show you a few different ways that we can manage our stat points on menus. Because of this, I don't need anything in this function, and that means I don't need this function at all, so get text underscore 0 can be removed. Lastly, we have get intellect assignment value text underscore 0. You'll see this is pretty much the same as the one we just removed, except it's hooked up. And the reason for this one is because we use the value that we read here. This is our intellect assignment value. Here's our binding. We use this function here and this value here to determine what our stat point should be. We do use this one, but let's rename it. Instead of get underscore intellect assignment value underscore text 0, let's just say get intellect assignment value and text, just like that. Now the other thing I want to clean up is in my stat display window. If we come in here and come into the graph, all of these functions and these bindings are super simple. We're just reading out the data from the corresponding variable and displaying it in text form. However, all these functions are the standard binding function names, and I want to change this to get strength value text, just like that. And then get dexterity value text. And get intellect value text. Perfect. Now we've cleaned these widgets up. The next thing that I want to do is actually spawn my stat assignment window. An easy way to do this is to spawn it within the base character blueprint, but we need a way to do this. For that, I would recommend a blueprint implementable event. If we go to our third person tutorial character.h and scroll down to our functions, we could put it here. Alternatively, we could determine where our experience gain is at or where our level up is at. And I think I like that one more. So here's where we gain experience. We can go under here and add a new function. Create the menu for modifying stats. New function, blueprint, implementable event. And this will have a category equal to stats. Void create stat window. We're also going to want a function for leveling up, as we're actually just doing all the behavior for leveling up in the gain experience function once we've received enough experience to level up. But I have a whole episode planned for what we can do while we level up, so I'm going to ignore that for now. We want to go to the gain experience function now. You can simply go to your CPP file and type gain experience or scroll down until you find it. And in here, you'll see that we have this section for if the experience points are greater than the experience to level, increment our level. This is where we are leveling up. Call my new function, create stat window. And I'll just take my comment from this function here paste it. So create the menu for modifying stats. This is a blueprint implementable event, which means we don't have to fill out the function body in the CPP file. Instead, we fill out the body for this function in blueprints. That means we can stop the instance of Unreal and load up a new one. Now the editor is back up, and that means if we go back into our character class, which is in third person CPP, blueprints, characters, base character BP, we come to an empty part of the class and search for our new function, create stat window. This is where we fill out the logic for that blueprint implementable event. And here it's very simple. We just want to create widget. For our class field here, we want to use our widget, our stat assignment window. For the owning player, we want it to be the player controller that owns this character. So get player controller. And we can keep player index 0 for now. We don't have anything multiplayer related in this game at the current time. So we're just getting the default player controller, which will be possessing our character and spawning the widget. After the return value here, we need to call add to viewport to actually display it on the screen. Compile and save and go into the main menu and load up the game. Once we are to defeat our 2 pumpkin golems here, we'll get enough experience to level up. Go ahead and attack them. You see our experience bar in the bottom left corner. It is the yellow bar. Now we've leveled up. So you see that we get our stats page. As I mentioned, it is overlapping with our quest objectives here. They're on top of each other, but you can also see that the stat assignment window is here. And we can modify the values in here as well. When we're done, we can hit confirm. And you'll see that the stat display window is also appearing here. Now this one doesn't go away, but what we want to do is make sure that our menus aren't overlapping. So if we quickly go to our blueprints, widgets, stat assignment window, we can just move this to the center of the top of the screen for now. There's a couple things we can do here. An easy one is to just go through the elements, go to your anchor and change the anchor to top center. Then set your position X to be 0 and set your alignment X to be 0.5. This will put these in the center of your screen. However, if you do this, it will be a little bit offset because the center of the text box is not the center of the text and the text box. So it will be slightly to the right if you do it this way. That's why what I recommend is just undoing what we just did and instead putting everything inside this box in a different canvas panel or making this canvas panel smaller, up to you, and spawning it at a different part of our screen. Since we do have our confirm button down here though, I think the easiest is to just add another canvas panel for the time being until we get our final setup for how we actually want to display this. So palette, canvas panel, add this to your canvas panel. This new canvas panel is going to hold just about everything. We don't want our confirm button in it. We would rather just have these elements that we want to display at the top in it. So if we move our strength text box, dexterity text, dexterity slider, intellect text, intellect left arrow text, intellect right arrow text, and intellect assignment value into this new canvas panel. It might mess up a few things at first because the canvas panel isn't the right size yet. Now what we want to do is resize our canvas panel, size X and size Y, to the desired size. You can actually calculate this by determining how much space you need, but as this is really just a visual update for us for the time being, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to make the size X 500 and the size Y of 300. Then let's fix any issues. I see that the strength text still has a position of -900. Undo that and make sure that you revert your anchor as well because the issue was the anchor was different since I had previously tried to move it. The position X was 10. Now that's fixed, and then the other ones that are broken are the 2 intellect arrows. You'll see that they are no longer children of their corresponding buttons. So the intellect left arrow text needs to be a child of intellect left arrow, and intellect right arrow text needs to be a child of intellect right arrow. Great, now we have a canvas panel that represents what we want. And because of this, I think I can actually change the size of this new canvas panel to be 400 instead. Compile and save. Now we can set this new canvas panel to have an anchor of top center, then change the position X to be 0, which puts all those elements in the top center. Lastly, change the alignment to 0.5 on the X to center it based off the center of this element, not the origin at the top left. Now this is exactly what I would want. If we are to do the same thing for our stat display window, just add a new canvas panel here within our canvas panel. Again, this is just temporary till we have our menus down for this stuff. So add a new canvas panel, add all your elements in this widget to that canvas panel. Set this canvas panel to be a reasonable size X of 300 and size Y of 300. Now we can move the anchor to the top center, reset the position X, change the alignment to 0.5 on the X. Now, if we are to go into our game and level up again, you'll see that our widget exactly where we want it. It's not being occluded, it's not occluding anything else, and now we can modify our values. So remember that I start with a strength value of 1, a dexterity value of 1, and an intellect value of 1. Since intellect is the easiest to look at and know what value we have here, we can simply modify this by moving our intellect up to 5 or 6. We have 5 upgrade points. Then confirm. You'll see that our new values are strength 1, dexterity 1, intellect 6. And this is actually modifying the values, so this is working. There's a lot more that we have to do with this because we want to actually add it to our menu. We need to determine all the things that are going to be affected by strength, dexterity, and intellect, and we need to be able to get rid of these stats on our screen. That one we can handle right now. If we go back to the stat display window, we can simply have a timer that starts once we create this widget for when it's hidden. If we go into the graph of stat display window, on event construct, at the end after setting our player reference, set timer by event or by function name, set timer by event is fine here. And we can give it an arbitrary time of 5 seconds. What this means is after 5 seconds, it's going to trigger the event that we have here. So if we drag off of this event and type add custom event, we call this hide stats. In hide stats, we can simply call remove from parent. Compile and save. Let's do this one more time. Play the game, level up. If you don't want to defeat your enemies every time, we do have experience points that we can gather in the back here. We have enough for a level. And you'll see that we have our stat assignment window. We can assign our points. Let's say intellect of 4, strength of 3. Should allow us to do this. Make sure you hit enter when you enter your strength. So 3, enter. Intellect of 4. We should have enough for that. Confirm. You'll see our strength, our dexterity, our intellect are set correctly, and the widget should be destroyed after 5 seconds. Awesome. So we are exactly where we want to be. Now we're starting to integrate our stat system into our game. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the third-person action RPG tutorial series. If you did and you want to support the channel, then please subscribe. It's completely free. It does more for me than anything else you can do. I really appreciate it. If you want to get extra benefits for supporting the channel, then you can check out the Patreon, YouTube membership, and Discord subscriptions as so many kind souls have. You're all fantastic, and I appreciate you so much, so thank you for all the love and support. If you ran into any problems following this tutorial or any of my tutorials, feel free to join the Discord community. I would be very happy to help you out, and that support is completely free. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Shawnthebro, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.